What's up, Facebook and YouTube? Today I want to talk to y'all about voting. Should you vote? Does your votes matter? What is election? Today I'm going to get real deep into that from another standpoint. Now, a lot of stuff I'm going to touch on, a lot of y'all already familiar with. But I got to do this video, y'all, because we do have an election coming up. And I think this is very important for us to understand. Now, as I get into this, for y'all who's not aware of this information, you're going to be truly blessed. So stay with me. Let's get right into it. I got a few notes here I want to go over with you. We're not going to make this a long video, but let's get into this thing, okay? First of all, before I get into this, I want to point something out to y'all. Your votes don't matter at all. And by the end of this lecture, you're going to realize that your votes mean nothing. And a lot of y'all already know this, but now I'm going to go into detail on why they mean nothing. Now check this out, people. Just to set the ground for this lecture, let me say this too. If you think these people went through all this trouble setting this system up the way it is today, just to let you come vote it away, you know you got to be a fool. So by the end of this lecture, we finna get your mind right about election and why your votes don't mean crap. A little something to keep in mind. Presidents change, but policy don't. Let me say that again. Presidents change, but policy don't. Now, corporations run this country. And let me point something else to you about this so-called country, which really isn't a country. It's a union of states. It's really a corporation, all right? Now, why do I say that? Y'all ever thought about something? Most legitimate countries have a leader. They have a prime minister, a king, a queen, some respectable figure of that nature. But when you get over here to the United Snakes of America, they got presidents. Y'all, McDonald's got a president. Ford and Chevrolet got a president. Pizza Hut got a president. That proves to you you're dealing with a corporation. You're dealing with a company that's ran by corporations. And guess what? You the product. So by the end of this lecture, you're going to realize why your vote don't mean nothing to these people. It's all about money. Now, let me go over a few of these notes that I got for you to explain to you why your votes don't mean nothing. All right? In my opinion, y'all, voting serves two purposes. To make you feel like you have a part in the matter, and also as a census for them to count the number of fools who still believe that they vote count. So this let them see who really sleep. This let them understand who really sleep and who really think they got a part in the future of this country or this corporation, what I like to call it. So now let me get into something real deep. They say we have the power of election. Now I want everybody to stop for a minute, put an S in front of the word election, and what you get? You get the word selection. Now, why am I going over this? There's a difference between electing a president and selecting a president. Why you'd have the power to only elect the president? What is electing a president? And why does that mean nothing? Because check this out, people. When you talk about the election process, that's not the selection process. So let's look at the word selection. Take the S off of it, and what do you get? Election. Now, the most powerful form would be selection. Why would they take the S off and give the people the right to elect a president? I would like the right to select the president. Why? Why would I want that right? Because by the time you put these two puppets in front of my face and say elect one of them, you've already done the selection process. So people, what am I saying? It don't matter which one of them you choose because they all on the same team. Let me break down to you the difference between election and selection, okay? Just say I go out there and I get 5 of my buddies. They all my buddies and they all work for me. And I stand them up in front of you and I say, choose one, which one you want to run the country. And you choose one. Guess what, y'all? It don't matter which one of them you choose because they all my buddies. All right? Now, what would be true power is if I tell the people, listen, go out there and select y'all a president. And based on that selection, it can be anybody. It can be Tupac, anybody you choose. And it can be your uncle, your daddy. It can be anybody you select, okay? It can be Umar Johnson. It can be Deborah Blair. Why can't none of these people be president? Because they didn't select them, okay? Now, by the time you elect from a group of these puppets, they done already selected those puppets. So by the time it end up in your hands, you only got the power to elect one of those puppets. You don't have the power to select them. See, they'll select Barack and Hillary and Joe Smo, and then they give you the power to elect one of their buddies. After they already done a selecting process, now they give you the electing process, and you think you got some power. And to take it even more deeper than that, guess what, y'all? You don't even get to elect one of them. That's an illusion. It's something called an electoral college, people, who control all of the votes. And based on what the lobbyists doing, I encourage everybody to go out there and look up the word lobbyist. Guess what lobbyists do? They make good money, y'all, to go out there and get these candidates to say propaganda that the corporations want them to say. So what am I telling y'all? By the end of the day, the corporations have elected the president, and they're going to elect whichever president that they need to continue their money, to keep making their money, okay? So the corporations run America. I really want y'all to understand this process, y'all. Election means nothing. Selection means everything. Now, if we had the power to select a president, that'll be great. But by the time we elect one of these puppets, they done already selected them for you. So understand the concept of selection and election. Okay, once you take the S off of selection, it becomes election, and there's no power in that, people. So now let's go over some of these notes, all right? Now, I want to read a little excerpt I found online, and then I want to build on it a little bit. Check this out. People need to understand that pretty much the same global financial elites control both parties, and the reason nothing can be done about Obama's corruption and trampling of the Constitution is that the Republican leadership is complicit. See, y'all, the Democrats and Republicans work on the same team. I'm not going to get too deep into that because that's so obvious. That's the same thing as good cop versus bad cop, okay? Both of these different parties push the same agendas, but they use different wording, okay? So y'all, you need to go look that up and understand that on your own. I'm going to move on with this article because it's a lot of knowledge in this. The elites vote with their donations. The little people go to the polls and vote like zombies, pretty much for whichever candidate gets the most contributions from the global elites. Obama is openly having fundraisers in China and Europe right now. So people, that's deep. Both of these parties are funded by the same people. So that ought to tell you something right there, y'all. Matter of fact, all of these presidents that's running for office are funded by pretty much the same people. It's going to trickle down to who spent the most money in the end, people, because our votes don't matter. These corporations run the country. All right? Keep that in mind. I don't want to make this one too deep. The whole purpose of this lecture is to get y'all to quit running out there to them polls like fools thinking your vote means something. You're going to go out there and vote thinking you got a part in the matter. That's foolishness, people. Now stay with me. Let me get into this, all right? This is what you got to understand about Democrats and Republicans. Both of them work together. And why do they work together? They work together to run a monopoly on the party system. No third party has ever stood a chance in the United States, y'all. Remember the Green Party? Remember all them other parties that don't stand a chance? That's why. because the Democrat and the Republican Party work together. They appear like they're going against each other. But the real purpose of those two parties is to run a monopoly on any other third party that ever come try to make a part in the United States, okay? Tupac wanted the party. He was going to make his own party. If he was alive to make that party, y'all, it'll be the minority, okay? Because the Democrats and the Republicans, they have a system going on where they run a monopoly on the party system. You either going to be a Democrat or a Republican. Why? Because the propaganda, the promotion that's waved in front of your face. Every time these elections come around, you see commercials going. You see where they done paid all this money to finance promotion. It's a big circus over here, electing a president. It's all a big circus, people. You don't see this in other countries. It's a charade over here, and it's all Hollywood, and the same people that run the media decide who's going to be in office. The people never had no power, y'all. Now the people who select these puppets really got the power, not the people who elect these puppets. Come on now. Selection is more powerful than election, okay? Selection means I choose who you're going to elect. And if I choose 5 people that's my buddies, it don't matter which one of them get in office because they all going to serve my agenda. Presidents change, policy don't. Now remember that. This is the whole story about those who say that this is a conspiracy. Let me read this for you. It does not have to be a conspiracy, people. The people with money recognize their common interests and act independently to support those who will help them reach their common goals. That's deep, people. All right? That's really deep. You need to lock that in your mind a minute. Check this out. If you think Romney is much different from Obama, you are very much deceiving yourself. Romney will at best represent a somewhat slower pace along the road to total control. So Obama and Romney gonna serve the same agenda. One gonna do it in a different way than the other, but at the end of the day, the same agenda is gonna be served. Where are these agendas coming from? The global elite. Who are the global elite, y'all? Corporations, people. Stop thinking presidents run this country, y'all. All right? Corporations run this country. Walmart run this country. Monsanto run this country. Google run this country. Come on, y'all. You got to wake up, people. Stop going down there voting, thinking that your vote means something like a food. Vote don't mean crap. These people money what means something. You think these people finna set this country up, take all this time setting this system up just to let you come vote it away? Get real, people. Come on now. Now check this out, y'all. This was from 2008, but I want to read this because the same concept still stand today. Now listen, as we near the presidential election and commercials telling us how important our vote is begin to grow in numbers, I would like to remind you that your vote doesn't really matter. Along with incredible fraud that is occurring at ballot casting sites across the country, there are many other factors working against you, the voter. Why your vote doesn't matter? Because of the Electoral College, y'all. And let me get into that right now. There are many factors that work together to make your vote useless, but the main reason why your vote doesn't matter has to do with the little thing we call the Electoral College. The Electoral College system dates back to ancient times, probably for the sake of offering representation to peons who couldn't vote themselves. Now check this out. However, most everyone is capable of voting themselves, yet we insist on this silly middleman system anyway. So the Electoral College is a group of electors who are actually the ones whose votes do matter. Each state has a different number of electors, so some states carry more weight than others. The number of electors is determined by adding a state's senators with U.S. representatives varies depending on state's population. For example, y'all, Illinois has 21, California has 55, North Dakota has 3. So Californians are more important from Illinoisans, who are more important than North Dakota. So however many different electors your state has depend on how much power that state has. That's why these presidents, when they going around campaigning, they don't go to every state. They go to only the few states that mean the most, people. Listen, y'all, and guess what these electors are doing? These electors are not voting based on what the people voted, y'all. They voting based on the money they get from the corporations. They voting based on what the lobbyists doing and what the lobbyists saying. See, the lobbyists play a key role in this too, because they getting paid big money to go and promote whichever agenda that serves the corporations the best. So these presidents end up standing up there saying a bunch of rhetoric that supports the corporations, not the people, y'all. Okay? Our votings don't mean nothing. Now I just broke down to you selection and election. Now we're going into a deeper part of election when we talk about the electoral college. So stay with me. Check this out, y'all. When you cast your ballot on election day, you are really just voting for whoever the elector is that said they would vote for your candidate. So if you go and check the John Edwards box, you are really checking the box of Joe Elector, who says if he got elected for the college, he will vote for Edwards. Then you put your trust into the hands of a guy who says he will vote Edwards, but who really knows? All right, who really knows? And for North Dakota, he doesn't carry much weight anyway, because he is only 1 out of 538 votes cast in the college. All right, so that's how that system works. If you in a state like North Dakota who don't have a lot of electors, then your vote, think about it, all these thousands of citizens go and vote. But at the end of the day, their vote only counts for 1 out of 538. That show you how much power the people got. Out of millions of people that vote for a state, they add all them millions up, give them to one elector, 1 or 2 electors, based on how many electors your state got. And those electors are supposed to take all of those votes and count them up and say, well, our people win by the majority. Most of the people in our state voted for Joe Smo. But y'all, that never happens that way. What really happens is your votes get thrown away, and these couple of electors decide based on what the corporations paying out and what the lobbyists influencing which president gonna get into office, okay? This is how sick, how corrupt, how crooked this country is. The people never had no power, even though it's written right in the Constitution, we the people, okay? Y'all, the people don't mean us. The people mean the rich people, the corporations. Now, I know this lecture ain't deep, but I want to get into something simple like this because I still see a lot of RBGs voting. I still see people going out there talking about, let me go and vote for Obama. People, if you wouldn't have voted for Obama at all, he still would have made the doggone office, because the people in power gonna put who they want up there regardless of your little vote. So keep thinking your vote count like a fool. Now, people, wouldn't it make most sense to have everyone vote and then count the votes, and whoever get the most votes win? Wouldn't that make most sense? We got computer technology that can make that happen in a little or no time. Yet they gonna sell you a bunch of foolishness while they got to go through all this crap to reach a decision. You ain't got no power. Walmart got the power. Google got the power. Monsanto got the power. Now, people, when will we get the power? When we stop running up there voting and we come together in unity as a people, we can overthrow the powers that be. Y'all, all we got to do is come together. All the people got to do is come together. That's it. But we too busy divided. We too busy saying who got the most goddamn melanin and who the fuck it. Oh my God. We too busy doing everything, y'all, being divided, arguing about dumb shit while these people go out there and plan the fate of your children. While they go run the world and plan the future of the earth, we sitting over here divided, talking about who been through the most, who done this, why you shouldn't be dating this race, all of the bullshit that don't even matter. People, they united because of we divided. The powers that be are united because the people are divided. They thrive because of our division. The moment we all come together, regardless of your race, regardless of your religion, regardless of your color, regardless of who you dating, guess what? The moment we all come together, y'all, under one common cause, and that's the people versus the power, we're going to win. Our children going to have a better future. Long as we let these rich crooks plan the fate of our children, we the devils. We can't even blame it on them. If you ain't got enough intelligence about yourself to put your stupidity aside, to put your differences aside, and for the people to come together against the powers that be that's using this system right here to make sure you never have power, to continue running this world and sucking the people dry all over the planet based on the foolish Americans over here divided, running around doing the whip and the nay-nay while these people building corporations every day. We got to wake up, people. Check this out, y'all. Your vote does not matter. It might not even be counted, assuming you're allowed to vote to begin with. In fact, if you're black and the first 4 letters of your name match the 4 letters on that famously fabricated list of Florida felons, you definitely won't be voting at all, because the state of Florida hasn't bothered to fix its mistakes from the last election. The same problems that allowed George Bush to slither into the White House like the rapine reptilian he is are still in force, people. All right. Plus, the thoughtful Republicans in Florida, led by the president's porcine brother, Jeb Bush, have added some new obstacles to counting the votes accurately. The best of which is the new touchscreen voting system, which eliminates the paper trail that would expose ballot manipulation and also would be used for legitimate recounts in case of very close elections. No more recounts. Isn't that efficient? Voting in a democracy doesn't matter. It only works for the majority. The minority are left unheard. You only need 51% of the public to agree with you to have total control. That's why we're not founded as a democracy. Our founding fathers laid the framework for a constitutional republic. That's why I say to the republic for which it stands. People, stop being fools. It don't matter if Barack Obama is a Democrat. He's in a damn republic. This is a republic. So all of you Democrats need to wake up, because everybody in this country is a Republican. This is not ran by the people. It's ran by rich corporations. It's ran by royal families. And your voting doesn't count. Here's a sad truth. If you're going to vote here's a sad truth. If you're going to vote in the election because you're afraid the right candidate won't win or the wrong candidate will, if you don't, then you're wasting your time. The probability that you die in an auto accident driving to the polling place is higher than the probability that you cast a decisive ballot. I'm going to read that again. The probability that you die in an auto accident driving to the polling place is higher than the probability that you cast a decisive ballot. People, that's deep. Alright? If you vote for Obama because you're afraid of a Republican win, or if you vote for the Republican because you're afraid of an Obama win, then you're wasting your time. Most of us are familiar with everything I'm saying, but I had to do this lecture, y'all, because when you go out there and vote, they add up all them votes and they say, look, we got 10 million of them still foolish, thinking that they votes mean something. It let them see how ignorant we still are. It's just a census. None of your votes matter. So people, out of this whole lecture, I want y'all to take 3 things to the bank with you. Number 1, don't go and vote, because you're wasting your gas and your time, okay? Number 2, understand what I told you in the beginning of this lecture about selection and election. When you take the S off selection, it becomes the word election. And that's no power in election, people, because that's ran by the Electoral College. And I just broke down to you the fuckery that they doing to make sure your vote don't count. Number 3, what I want you to take away from this, y'all. Let's start coming together in unity, people. The only thing we can do to fight this system, y'all, is for the people to come together. Because this system affects everybody, y'all. It affects the future of your children. It affects everybody. And the reason I brought this up because we got a lot of Obama fans. Some of the stuff that Obama did while he was in office that really hurted us, y'all. He didn't help us at all, okay? Obama ain't no different than Monsanto and the rest of them devils. So if you want to get mad at me based on what I just said about Obama, feel free to do that. Because Brother Sanchez don't give a flying fuck, okay? I'm here to tell the truth and I don't care who it offends. Your vote don't mean nothing. So when this election come up here in the future, I'm going to see how many fools going to go out there and still vote like a fool, thinking your vote means something. Your vote don't mean crap. All of the money that run this country come from corporations and from global banking systems, global elite people, okay? So if you think our little votes down here on the bottom mean something, you know you got to be a fool, people. So come on now and wake up. The only thing we got against the powers that be is unity. So the people got to come together and unite, y'all, because they spend a lot of money keeping us divided. And damn it, it works too. It's working. So everybody who hearing this lecture, stay tuned. The only reason I did this simple lecture is to open up the pathway for the next series of lectures I'm about to do concerning the Illuminati, concerning the powers that be, concerning how this power system works. I'm going to be going deep into detail about this stuff, y'all. So stay with me, people, because this is important stuff. Okay, it don't matter which one you choose because they all on the same team. All right? Most of y'all already understand everything that I went over. I'm really preaching to the choir. But a lot of people don't know this stuff. So I had to put it out there. So let me get out of here today, y'all. I thank everybody that tuned in and watched me. Please subscribe to the channel. I love y'all, all right? I do this because I love y'all, people, and knowledge is power, and we got to come together in unity. So with that being said, people, I love y'all. Peace.